Check it out, Casper!
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Casper here, and welcome to In the Mind of a Spy. A title which is of course a homage to Mr. Paladin's How a Spy Thinks, but it is something that I've been doing on this channel for a long time. We've just never put a name to it before, so that's what this is, and this is actually on Payload Race Pipeline, a map I'm sure plenty of you play all the time. I'm actually using the red tape recorder because I'm making a video about the red tape recorder, and yes, it is crap. But anyway, I spot this guy massively out of position. He's looking at the wall when he's trying to set up whatever he's doing, so it's an easy stab for me. You can stand on top of a sentry and stab someone. Remember that sort of half apple shape that I talk about, being on the back of an enemy. You can stab anywhere within that radius, above them, below them, directly behind them, even to the side of them, which is how these some of these dodgy corner stabs get done. Now, Pipeline's a great map for flanks, as you can see here. I've taken a massive flank route. There's very little reason for an enemy to be in that flank route unless they're sniping. So, really easy for me. So I'm going for this engineer here. I'm pretending to just not pay any attention to it. There's a spy there. I probably would have failed the stab on the engineer based on the angle. But, it still works out, and we can rinse and repeat. And again, that's the same as that first stab. As long as you're within that apple shape, it's fine. Now, I know we talk about my aim on this channel a lot here. I swear some of those shots were hitting, but thankfully he's more competent, or rather less competent, and that guy walks straight into a really obvious corner stab. Basically, whenever you're a spy and you think someone's following you, take a corner wide, and it's very easy then. Now, I suspected that he saw me, so I go for another one of the great flanks here on Pipeline. It is a map which favours the attacker quite a lot, because a lot of these flank routes they can't come to. But this guy walks straight at me. It's not really a trick stab, but he didn't suspect me, so he wasn't really trying to avoid me, which made it nice and easy for me. Although he should have suspected me because he saw me going that way. And here's a bunch of snipers lining up nice and easy. That spy, I thought he would have chased me, but it looks like he ran straight into our spawn room and just got lit on fire. So, I mean, to each their own, if that's what he's into. Now, if a flank is working for you and you don't think they're on to you yet, carry on taking it. So that's what I'm doing here. I know that nobody's spotted me taking this flank yet, so I might as well carry on. Now, I suspect this engineer to follow me, but he takes it, the corner, he's miles away from me. So that trick stab doesn't work, but as long as you're prepared for a trick stab to not work, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes if you fail a trick stab, it can mean your death. But as long as you're prepared for someone not to follow you when you're going for that trick stab, and you're ready to deal with it by switching weapons, getting your cloak ready or whatever, then it's really not that much of a disaster. I kind of feel bad for this. Obviously he's AFK, but now that was a strafe and snap. I'm actually going to play that back, because what it's going to look like is a face stab. But basically what I do, I very slightly go one direction, and that's enough for this guy to think, ah right, he's going that way. But as soon as you start going that direction, you go back the other way, and that means that his body turns, and you might not see it on my client yet, but it's enough for the server to see that his body has turned, and that puts you within that 180 degrees half apple type shape that I talk about. After that, I fail some more shots, which I'm sure comes as no shock to anyone. So I pick up the health, and I suspect someone's going to follow me. Sure enough, a spy follows me. What he was trying to achieve there, I'm not really sure. If you're ever invisible running away from a spy trying to backstab you, don't run in a straight line. But now this pirate sees me, so I try and get away. And again, I suspect he's going to follow me, but I don't know if that's the same guy. I have to check the name. But remember, guys, always focus on the objective. So here we are on a later stage of the same map. I actually end up finishing this stage with 5 dominations. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone on my team was playing the objective. So we do end up losing, spoiler alert. But it's not about that, it's about the frags. So anyway, I'm just in this advantage area right now, seeing what's around. The other enemy team is actually pretty much all over the map. I kind of feel sorry for this guy. I think his keyboard's unplugged or so. I don't know what the hell he was doing. There's no real flank routes on this particular stage. Basically, it's just walk around and survive. Now this demo was focusing me quite a lot, so I know there's no point engaging him because he'll probably win those fights. So I make sure I got full cloak and full health from the cart, and make sure that that dies just by putting the sapper on as it gets taken off. And now probably can't win that fight. He's got a shotgun, I've got a knife, so I get out of there. And this is a great little route up to the snipers here. I could have backstabbed both of these guys, but I looked at them and I thought, they're oblivious enough to just shoot them with my gun. And I see that that medic sees me. The medic was just behind the gate. I hear the gate open, and I go over his head. He completely doesn't see me. I knew a trick stab was possible there, but there's no point risking a trick stab. A trick stab is often a risk. It's either a risk or a last resort. So there's no point going for it there, because he hadn't seen me. So I just snuck past him, essentially. Now, I see these guys on the cart, don't want them to do that, might as well try and play the objective. I think the medic follows me, but turns out he actually just believes my disguise and heals me. Unfortunately, someone makes the engineer turn around there just as I got to him, but I did get the stab on the scout, and with the dead ringer, you're not going for chain stabs necessarily. You want to get as many stabs as you can, 1 or 2, and then get out of there. That demo man then on my team, I thought he was a spy because he wasn't shooting at the enemy. Turns out, maybe his mouse was unplugged, I don't know. Weird things seem to happen here. Now a soldier is there on the enemy team. I try and bait the door to open. I swear I'm close enough to the door. It didn't open. But you know what? I'm not going to win even if I do engage with him. So I let it go. I'm going to think about the objective here. I can see the pyro going up. And you know what pyros do? They make people turn around. So there's no point me following him because there wasn't going to be any enemies there with their backs to me. I do finish off this... No, I don't. I finish him off later on. But I expect that my teammates are going to deal with that soldier, so I stopped worrying about him. And now I just want to get rid of this mini sentry, because as a spy, a sentry anywhere, you're uncloaked as soon as you stab someone, and you're often behind enemy lines. So the last thing you want is to stab someone and then start getting shot at. That guy, easy pickings. And the soldier sees me and he actually chases me here. And I know I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm really low health now. And I think the only way I'll survive is to engage. But he actually forgets about me or just decides to stop shooting at me. So I wish I hadn't done that and just tried to reset. But fortunately it does delay stuff long enough for me to reset. And I go to pretty much this only good health spot on the map. I think there's only those boxes there. And then those ones in the sniper nest. So there's not a lot of health on this map at all, which isn't good for a spy because you're often going to want to reset. And I think that guy is possibly full health, and if I realized he was that low I could have shot him, but unfortunately I didn't realize he was that low. I went for the risky backstab and died as a result. But I hope you guys like In the Mind of a Spy. As I said, there's plenty of other videos on this channel which is exactly this format, just never put a name to it before. So you can go check those out, there'll be links on the screen or something. And of course, thanks everybody for watching.